Hi everyone, welcome back to my lab. Today we're going to be trying to turn this rose, I got it off my grandma's rose plant, we're going to be trying to turn it white, like paper white. And what we're going to use for that is sulfur. This is sulfur powder, and we're going to burn the sulfur, which releases sulfur dioxide gas, which will turn this rose white. It breaks down the red or pink, whatever you want to call that. It breaks down the red or pink coloring in it, and it turns it white. Disclaimer, this is not a good thing to do at home unless you have the proper equipment. Good ventilation, you need gloves, you need a mask probably, and that's because burning sulfur produces sulfur dioxide gas. Sulfur dioxide gas is toxic, it's not good to breathe in. So you're going to need some protection, which I have personal protection. It's not the best ventilated, but I have some pretty good personal protection. So let's slip into that right now. Okay, well now we're in some good personal protection. Gloves, I added a hoodie because it's cold, most importantly a gas mask, and a fedora. It's very necessary. You have to have the fedora or you will die. It's very important. Okay, so now we can get to the experiment. So I had to change up the mechanism we had. What this is just a small jar with the burning sulfur in it, and then there's a funnel which leads up into this little chamber with our rose, and hopefully with time, or just for a few minutes hopefully, this will turn white. Now all we have to do is wait. So basically what I've changed my mind and decided to do is just hold the flower here. That appears to be working. You see, we're beginning to get some white coloring on it where it's leaching the red coloring out of it. So we'll just let this sit here, and with time, a few minutes hopefully, this will be completely white. It's becoming more white by the second, and as you can see I have switched back to the former mechanism of doing this. Okay guys, so I have a system here that I think is going to work the best yet. So I have the flowers in a toaster oven, not plugged in. What I'm going to do is just add this ignited sulfur into the toaster oven and close the door so it's airtight. Now the sulfur dioxide gas will escape out of the little bottle, the little glass container, and have nowhere else to go, so it'll leach the color out of the flowers, turn them white. As you can see, the process is already working really well. Look how white these roses are turning. And yeah, so there's a little vent hole, so some of the gas is escaping. And so if I were to take this mask off, I would probably inhale a very unhealthy amount of sulfur dioxide. So I advise either having really good ventilation or a respirator like mine. So I've had another idea. Sulfur dioxide is a fairly heavy gas, quite a bit heavier than air. So what I thought I could do, since sulfur dioxide is likely going to be going down, what I thought I could do was put the roses down here at the bottom. I'm going to leave one up top to see which one works better. Now I'm going to close this back up and we're going to see what happens. Okay, so I had 2 roses in the toaster oven, and I had one that was pretty much done, but it didn't look nearly as pretty as the other one, so I decided to use it for another experiment that I'm about to do. So basically in this experiment, we test if hydrogen peroxide can return the color, because hydrogen peroxide should be able to return the color of the original rose. And that other one in there is very, very white. It's like almost like paper how white it is. So let's add some hydrogen peroxide. Don't need much, I don't think. Let's dip in our rose. So I think that one's about done. I'm going to take it out in just a second, but the important thing is the hydrogen peroxide has completely returned the color of this rose. Look at this. Let me get it out. Look. This rose is almost completely white. The hydrogen peroxide has completely returned the color. So if you do try this at home, remember, be safe, but if you do, you could make a striped rose. You could leach the color out of all of it and then return the color to one part of it, so it's striped. I just think this is a very cool experiment you can do. Just be safe when doing it, but I found this very interesting how this happens. So finished product. This is the one that we dipped in hydrogen peroxide. That's pretty interesting that the hydrogen peroxide can return the color like that. And this one, I'm very proud of this one. Bleached all the color out of it, leaving it white as paper. Almost looks like a peppermint rose. Well, the sulfur is still burning, and it's still producing gas, so I have my gas mask on still. But what I figured we would try to do real quick is take our white rose and try to do like I said earlier and give it a little stripe. So I'm just going to dip the tip in. Now this does take a minute, so I'm going to continue until I get a nice looking stripe. Okay everyone, so I successfully added a stripe. Wow. Science is so cool. But that pretty much concludes the experiment. Alright everyone, well that pretty much concludes the video. Remember, whenever doing this experiment, always wear personal protection. Gloves, mask, and most important, your safety fedora. It's the difference between life and death. You have to wear the safety fedora. It's the most important piece of equipment. But I'll see you guys in the next video. Be sure to like and subscribe. Sulfur pretty much stopped burning, but it's still nowhere near safe, so I'm going to turn on my ventilation fans. Leave them on for a while. The big fan is going to get all that sulfur dioxide out of here. Okay, well, see you in the next video.